What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of X2 Skips, the weekly patch notes. As always, it's me, Tamziri, feeling good, feeling Gucci. And with us, we've got the returning champion. What's up, Max?
Yo, what is good?
Though we've missed you, man.
Time right this time.
Yeah, man. I believe Kojo had some hectic stuff to discuss with you. So, yeah, it's going to get real.
Forget.
Oh, wow. Well, everyone, that is Kojo. What's good, homie?
Okay, okay. So my Discord is bugging out. Yeah, no, I'm good. What's up with you?
Oh, wait, I'm Gucci, bro. I'm good. And as y'all already know, we bring the goodness to y'all, everything that's been happening in the week and all the gaming tidbits. So before we get started, does anyone have anything to announce? Anything to bring up? Admin and all that?
Well, not really admin, but just recently I've been watching some, YouTube drama crap, those type of videos. Looking up, updating myself a little on a so-called Young Philly, so-called Chunks, so-called Pirate Software, who a lot of people have been making content recently over because he's been getting himself in some unnecessary drama again. But just that type of stuff. Content creator drama.
Okay, wait. Don't have anything on my side. Kojo?
Nothing from me.
That's away. All right. Well, with that being said, let's get right into the gaming news. Max, what you got for us, bro?
All right. I don't really have much, so I'm going to go over things I wanted to touch upon last week since I wasn't around. However, if you guys have discussed any of these things, feel free to stop me, because I wanted to cross-check this stuff, but there was a certain person, I'm not going to say names, who wasn't answering my phone calls, so I wasn't able to check if you guys have discussed these things before. So, as I said, if you mentioned them last week, feel free to stop me.
Some people
so I'll
have
go in
jobs.
order of this.
Just saying.
Oh wow.
One.
Hey,
Two.
I'm not naming names.
I know you're not naming names. I'm also not naming names. I'm just talking, philosophically. Some people have jobs and some people called back twice.
What?
I'm just naming things. I'm just talking to myself here. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Look, the first thing is EA is introducing AI dialogue into their FIFA games or the FC games. You guys mentioned that?
No, I read about it though.
Yeah, so people can look forward to that. The whole fight against AI, as much as we all don't want AI, it's just slowly creeping in. I feel like the gaming community, or not necessarily the community, but the developers do this thing of they'll try something out, the community will hate it, have backlash against it, the developers will withdraw it, and then in the future, when people slightly forget, they start bleeding it in small quantities so people can't get in an uproar, and then next thing we know, now it's just a commonplace because we were just slowly getting it injected. But yeah, so that's a thing that was going to be common. Next is about the PS6. Did you guys mention that? About its delay?
Oh, I thought we were gonna have a date. Okay.
Nah, delays. So the theory was that the PS6 was going to be coming out perhaps next year, given that there's roughly a 7-year console life cycle. And experts were also pointing out to 2027 earliest, 2028 latest. Me, I've never been a fan of that, given the fact that the PlayStation and the Xbox came out during COVID, and then we had that whole scalper problem. And what was the component that was in lacking, which they couldn't get a lot of? So the number of consoles were reduced?
Platinum? I don't know.
No.
Lithium?
I'm sure Kojo will remember.
Beryllium?
I actually don't, but it's a platinum Tommy.
To make batteries. I don't know.
I remember something vaguely along those lines, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I also can't remember what specifically was, but anyway, yeah, so we had that as a problem for like 2 years or something like that. So already you need to cut out 2 years from that 7-year console life cycle. And the reason why there's beliefs that the PS6 will be delayed and probably Xbox's next console as well is because of a whole AI situation right now where AI companies are grabbing RAM and storing it for themselves. So Nvidia and other companies like that don't have the chips available to make RAM components. So that is not possible. That's creating a delay. And then secondly is because of these companies sitting on these RAM storage for their AI shit, it's also creating price increases. And because of that, it's theorized that if the PlayStation was to come out, it would cost somewhere around $1,000, which is ridiculous. So because of that, Sony is looking to try and delay, supposedly Sony's looking to delay the thing, which I'm not going to complain about. I always thought 2027, 2028 was stupid early. That for me, at the earliest, it should be 2028, but ideally it should be 2030. So hey, looks like I'm gonna get my way. I'm banking on 2030. So yeah, those are the two main reasons why there's likely going to be a delay in the next console generation. Prices of RAM and the sales of these consoles is going to be sky high, so they're going to try and wait for the AI drive to slow down, to calm down, so that the prices of RAM goes back down again. Then next we have there was a Resident Evil leak. Did you guys touch upon that? Capcom.
No, but for the love of God, please don't say what it is.
It's just about that game's coming out. The lineup.
Wait, there's no leak about Resident Evil itself. I'm sure that there was.
What about the story of Requiem?
Yes, because Hideki Kamiya, the guy, remember Hideki Kamiya? Everybody knows Hideki Kamiya. He came out and he says like people who are leaking Resident Evil spoilers deserve 1,000 deaths or something like that. I thought that was funny. So I didn't hear about the Capcom lineup. I only heard about Resident Evil spoilers. But anyway, continue.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm not giving story spoilers. I don't do story spoilers. What I was just going to say was that the leaks about the potentially, supposedly the next 3 upcoming games from Capcom in the Resident Evil series have been leaked. So So we can bet this is going to be accurate because of 2 things. One, this has happened before, and the previous time it was spot on. They spoke about Resident Evil Village. They spoke about all other projects for the next 5 or so years from Capcom, and everything was on point. It was fun. Yeah, so here, and another factor is that apparently Capcom have been releasing a Resident Evil game every year without fail for the last couple of years, and I never noticed that. And I thought about it, I was like, that's actually true. So the rumored next Resident Evils is supposedly we're going to get a Code Veronica remake. Then
I heard about that.
So that's supposedly the next thing in line. After that, we're going to get a Resident Evil 0 remake. Then after that, we're going to get Resident Evil 10. So given that timeline, I think that's highly realistic.
My heart sank when he said Resident Evil games. So I'm disappointed.
Nah, I mean, it's common thing and around the Resident Evil games. Because remember, Kojo, briefly, we spoke about companies needing that regular franchise that makes them that money that they can count on or for.
I remember
so
that
for Capcom, it's more or less Resident Evil, and then they just make other games around Resident Evil, like bringing back Onimusha and whatnot. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily surprised, because like they don't really make a Devil May Cry frequently enough.
No. So when you said they leaked what's it called? They leaked the upcoming games. I was like, oh, Dino Crisis, and he said it's Resident Evil games. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Nah, Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis is going to happen when Capcom is in a financial space where they're like, we can take a risk. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I'll say the opposite. Dino Crisis will come out in a time where Capcom is panicking and they're like, we need something to shake up our sales. Let's give them Dino Crisis. I think that they're holding that in reserve.
Well, they're killing it now, so I don't.
Talking about killing, that makes a nice segue to the next thing, the penultimate thing. Stop Killing Games. So there's been an update with Stop Killing Games, or it happened last week, where they are meeting with the EU. They managed to get all of the signatures. We know that from some time back, but then they had to be the whole EU check to make sure that none of the signatures, or to cross-check which signatures are fake and whatnot, and if they actually have the correct amount. That was finished, and they did have the correct amount. So now the current stages is meeting and talking to EU diplomats or whatever. I don't understand the whole politics or minutia about this, but the meetings are now taking place. So that is advancing, and that is looking optimistic. Hopefully that does go well, because if the EU makes any changes, most likely those changes will be global changes, because why have one set of functions for one region and then the rest of the regions you're doing something else? It's probably easier just to homogenize everything.
Homogenize.
All right. Thank you. And lastly, we talk about the big thing that's happened. And this took place on the day of the last recording, but then I don't know at what time it took place. So maybe you guys didn't have the chance to talk about it. Or maybe you did. And that's about the whole Xbox Phil Spencer. Were you guys able to talk about that, or it happened after?
It happened like the day after.
Yeah, no.
No, it wasn't the day after, as far as I can check. It
didn't happen when we were recording.
Yes, that's what I mean. Oh, actually, technically, I guess it is the day after for you guys. For me, it would be on the same day, just hours later.
Fair, yeah.
Yes, so basically everybody and their uncle knows about this, but Phil Spencer is retiring, Sarah Bond resigning, and in their place, or I should say in the place of Phil Spencer, a lady called Asha Sharma is taking over his position, where she's been inside Microsoft recently. Actually, she hasn't been for that long. Apparently she joined only in 2024, and she was part of the AI component. Her background is in other companies, in leaderships. I think it was Facebook and another software company. It started with an I forget the name. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, it's kind of surprising that with her lack of years in Microsoft, she's going to be the one taking over. Usually you have somebody who's been there for a while, like Phil Spencer. Apparently the dude had been in Microsoft for 30 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And the other person is Matt Booty, got a promotion where he's now going to be the chief content officer, whatever the fuck that means. But yes, there's speculation with regards to, was Phil fired, or was this planned? Personally, when it was announced, a lot of people were saying he was fired, and they're giving their reasons why they think he was fired. And I was of the opinion that he chose to retire because he probably is seeing the direction Xbox is going, and he's just like, I've been taking flank for years, and these guys are wresting control away from me, and I don't really believe in what's coming next. So maybe this is the best time to just part ways. That was my original belief. But then when thinking about that, I completely forgot about Sarah Bond and her resigning, where because of her resignation, maybe it is Microsoft telling them that, hey, we don't really believe in what you guys are doing, and we're going to bring in new people to execute our vision. But on the other hand, it could be her saying, I supported Phil, I really believed in what he was doing. If he's retiring, I'm resigning because I don't see the way going forward. We're never really going to know about it until probably years later, when more details start surfacing. But yeah, that is the current situation. Me and everybody else believe that Xbox is cuffed, and I genuinely believe that, because getting somebody who is an AI head, when was the last time, you guys can tell me, but when was the last time some AI honcho stepped in somewhere and it was all roses and flowers, or flowers and whatever the expression is, roses and something else, since roses are flowers? I can't think of a time when, like an AI head. Like, I can't think of a last time somebody who specializes in AI took over somewhere and it was great. Usually when you're pivoting to AI, it's a death by 1,000 needles type of thing.
Because it hasn't happened before, so we don't have a precedent. So people dooming, we don't know. Like, we don't have case studies.
We don't have direct case studies, but we have adjacent case studies of like companies pivoting to AI. It's like, you turn to AI as your holy grail. Look where that led you, to bankruptcy. We're seeing Ubisoft trying to go into AI. How great is that going? We saw art pivoting to AI, like NFTs and shit like that. Look where that headed up. We saw people trying to crypto with AI and whatnot. That didn't make much of a difference. So it's like, AI is looked at this, even when the AI boom first started, now AI is getting too expensive to manage. And it's kind of like, okay, maybe we need to calm down with the AI expectation. We're seeing companies like Tesla trying to pivot to AI, but that's not really going anywhere for them. So it's just like, AI is like the new buzzword right now. And it's kind of like, when cryptocurrency came out, when NFT came out, when all of these exciting things come out, hell, even the metaverse, is like, when it first starts, if you're an early investor, it's great. But at a certain point, when the technology becomes commonplace, you realize, oh, this wasn't the drive that we all thought it was going to be. And then it's like, late adopters or late investors, it means nothing to them. The early investors got their money's worth out of it. And I feel like that's where AI is heading into right now. Like, AI is going to be a part of our lives, but we don't have the, how can I say it? It's like, right now it's too expensive to be commonplace.
Yeah, true.
Maybe in 10 to 20 years, the things we're hoping to do now, we'll be doing then, where it's now very cheap and affordable to do those things that is so commonplace that what was life before AI, we don't remember. Because there's been a lot of new technologies where it's like, this looks too expensive to be realized. Broadband, broadband internet, when Microsoft jumped onto that with the Xbox 360, and everyone was like, that's too early. So I guess that could be a case study, Kojo, to what you're saying of, hey, there've been instances of something being deemed a write-off. Microsoft jumped onto it and they were correct in their prediction. But I could also say, look at how long we've been talking about xCloud, where xCloud still hasn't been realized, and that's been like 10, 15 years in the making. and we're still not there. So who's to say AI will be realized as well? The only thing we can say for sure is that this is Microsoft's soft or maybe Microsoft's hard reset, and we can only see what comes after, but I'm not optimistic.
Man, it's whatever to me. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, like, you can say it's whatever, but my concerns is Microsoft flopping, getting out of gaming, and then Sony's just there unchecked. Unchecked power is problematic.
Don't worry, we've got the FTC.
Yeah, because they really made a difference for the Activision Blizzard acquisition.
They tried. They did.
They did, but the fact that they failed means, like, why are you guys here?
It's not their fault. It's not their fault that Big Daddy Microsoft pushed around their weight and
They can
lied.
push out the
by the
FTC.
way.
Oh, we knew they were gonna lie from jump. Like, that was so obvious, and anybody who bought into that hubris is either a sucker or a Microsoft apologist. But yeah, that's it from me.
Oh wait, bro. Thank you. Kojo, you got any gaming news?
A couple. So,
Damn.
first off, AA French publisher that I'm sure none of you have ever heard of. They're called Nacon. They are, again, as I said, a game publisher. They also do some peripherals, but mainly gaming. They've published games such as Test Drive Unlimited, RoboCop, Sticks Blade of Greed, blah 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 blah. And they are set to publish the upcoming Greedfall 2, The Dying World, which is being developed by Spiders in March. But all of this is now uncertain. Well, I'm sure the game will come out, but future projects are uncertain because Nacon is filing or has filed for insolvency. The company said that the financial position of its major shareholder, Big Ben Interactive, was unable to make partial repayment for its bond loan to bondholders. So as a result, Nacon is seeking to restructure its debt through legal proceedings. This is what Nacon says in a press release, and I quote, "The company reports that its available assets do not allow it to meet its due liabilities. The aim of this procedure is to assess all possible solutions to ensure the sustainability of the company's activity under the best possible conditions, protect employees, and preserve jobs, while renegotiating with its creditors in a calm and constructive framework," end quote. So the hearing is going to take place, or expected to take place, at the beginning of March. So we'll see how that goes. So that's Nacon. And lastly, remember that EA Skate game that dropped, the free-to-play one?
Which one?
Scott Skate.
Oh.
It was part of the big, Skate thing, but it was not called Skate 4. It's just called Skate, sort of like a rebrand, not reboot, but sort of like a reimagining.
Yeah, I remember Skate. Yeah.
I jumped in and played a bit of it towards the end of last year. It's fine, but diehard Skate fans say it's atrocious, and I can see where they're coming from. But from someone who didn't really play the original Skate games, it's okay. But EA said, did they do? They said, yes, on Twitter and social media, whatever, they posted a thing called Skate's Next Chapter, an update from Full Circle. And Full Circle is the developer. And as soon as I saw this, I'm like, either the game is getting shut down or they're laying people off. And it's the latter. They're laying people off. I had a feeling. Now you can tell, when a company's about to do some dumb stuff. You can tell from the headline.
Absolutely.
So yeah, unfortunately, some people.
Live service just ain't it.
Tell that to Valorant, League of Legends, Apex, Fortnite.
Here's those thing I've noticed about live service developers or games or whatever. When you're not hearing any news, things are going well. The minute they're making news, it's what you said, layoffs or the game is being shut down.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So yeah, that's just I just wanted to just quickly slide it in there. There's some layoffs at Full Circle. That's unfortunate. But yeah, that's it for my news, Tommy.
Yes. Thank you. Now, I think for me, I only have one. So you guys would have remembered in the previous episode, I spoke about how Lord Gaben was facing a stupid lawsuit. Max had first brought it up, and then I was just like gonna say that it was like it's down. But anyways, it just seems like Lord Gaben cannot catch a break, because now Valve is being sued in a lawsuit from the New York Attorney General, citing that loot boxes is an unlawful act in the state, and urging video game developers to pay any local players back for their in-game spending. Again, I say, because they're coming at him specifically like so hard, they better also do the same for Origin, Epic, especially EA, all these other peeps, because right now how it seems is that they're just trying to crush Gaben, just him. Maybe he's in the files, I don't know, but like, bro, like just one man must deal with all of this, because first of all, guys, remember the first lawsuit was 900 mil, dog. Imagine. And now this one, dude, this is by the state that time, so I don't know what's happening, man. And the thing is, she's one of us, bro. Like, come on, girl. Like, now it just seems.
Oh, is this the one who's going after Valve for loot boxes and?
The one.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just like,
I don't know about that one, Tommy, but
my nigga.
Loot boxes and CSGO, or not CSGO now, CS and the whole cases and the marketplace.
No, look, I understand, but I get why the lawsuit. I get it fully, but why come after Valve only? And then even Steam, same person, same owner, same founder.
Well, because it's CSGO.
No, but like, nah, dog. Because I think with CSGO it's a bit different, because with CSGO, at least if you have something that comes out of your box, you can sell it. There's a marketplace.
And that's the problem.
How is that a problem? Because now, put it like this, right? In the same way with Pokemon cards, there's a marketplace for that. You buy Pokemon cards, you're gambling on whether you're going to get a shiny or a card of higher value. That's gambling too, but we allow it. We have kids who are like 8 years old at these flipping trading card conventions, just out here spending money, investing and all that type of shit. So are we going to call that education? But then when it comes to this, it's the same thing, dog. Sue Niantic, sue them niggas, sue CCEG, them niggas who value the cards.
You're right. They should go after all of them.
You see what I'm saying? So it just seems like, why is this so directed at Gaben? Like, why him specifically? Okay.
I think potentially one of two reasons, or I could be wrong on both accounts. Reason number one is because Valve is so big, Steam is so big, it will set an example or a standard to everybody else if they are put into check. Two, it could be where, I forgot what it's called, but you know how in the US those gaming companies have like a whole lobby body that represents them, and I don't think Steam is part of that. So that lobby body is able to get away with certain things, and politicians wouldn't necessarily go against them because it's like they are footing the politicians' bill. So it's like, well, Steam is not part of it, so Steam is somebody we can go against for. Or maybe even that body is the one that's saying, hey, can you guys do something about Steam? So it could be three possibilities.
Fair, I guess. Yeah, fair. I mean, so many game devs are basically saying that like Steam has the monopoly on game platforms. But yeah. My only beef is that Steam is banning adult games. Obviously, there are some that definitely should be removed, but some have very nice stories and plot. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents.
Blame the Australian mothers.
Yeah, well, I mean, your kids are gonna get off to dispatch anyways. Y'all should watch that. I mean, play that game, bro. Goddamn. Anyways, yeah. Moving on to the gaming corner. Kojo, what's been coming out, Doug?
First up, releases of the week. Sorry, this is what's up. What's been happening? First up, we have a game called Reigns: The Witcher. It's a PC mobile game, adventure game, February 25th, 2025. 2026. Jesus, sorry. Currently sitting at a 76 on Metacritic. Then we have a game called Hunt the Night, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, action RPG, February 26th, 2026. Currently sitting at an 80 on Metacritic. Then we have the Disney Afternoon Collection, Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch. It's a compilation game. February 26, 2026, currently sitting at a 76 on Metacritic. Then we have Tales of Berseria Remastered, PC, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch. Action RPG game, February 27, 2026, currently sitting at an 80 on Metacritic. Then we have the big, well, not the big, but one of the big ones of the year. A lot of people are looking forward to this one. It's called Resident Evil Requiem or Resident Evil 9, whichever one you want to call it. PC, PS5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch 2. I want to see how well that runs. There have been some videos about how it's running. I haven't watched them yet, but I should. I want to see how it runs. Survival horror game. It's a Resident Evil game. Everybody knows Resident Evil for the most part. February 27th, 2026. So, seeing as this is a big one of the year, potential Game of the Year nominee, Maxwell, what do you think its Metacritic score is?
This is tough. I'm thinking 86, but I'll say 83.
Okay, 83. Tomsy.
89.
89. Okay.
Dang.
If my math is correct, Tommy is the closest. It's sitting at an 88.
Dang.
I'm not going to lie. I expected it to hit like 90 or 91.
What?
So this is a shock to me.
I was expecting 86 at best, and that's why I lowballed it.
Nah, for Resident Evil, especially seeing as the Resident Evil remakes have been doing so well, and also the mainline games. So I expected this one to be up there.
How much more can they put in those games which can surprise people? At a certain point, people be like, I've seen it all, there's nothing you can do that will surprise me.
That's why they combine both the scary old school Resident Evil and the new ones, and the bombastic Leon Kennedy gameplay, and put it into one game to make it something.
I just hope there's no stalking entity.
Oh, you mean like Mr. X or Nemesis?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit was annoying. I think there is, actually, unfortunately. But I could be wrong. I haven't played the game. I'm not a Resident Evil guy. I don't know. I might watch some people play tomorrow because it launches as of a recording the next day. Anyway. So yeah, 88. So yeah, that's it for the releases of the week. Before I move on to other gaming corner stuff, does anybody have any releases you want to talk about?
No, Max.
Nada.
Okay, so let me. I have two things I want to talk about. Let me go to the first one. So, do any of you know the name? Yeah. Do any of you know or recognize the name Dan Reynolds?
No.
Ryan Reynolds' lost cousin.
Imagine. But no. What if I say to you, thunder, feel the thunder, lightning in the thunder, anything? Nothing.
Imagine Dragons, nigga.
Yep. Him.
Okay.
So, the reason I'm bringing this up, because he has a brother who is a co-founder. His name is Mac Reynolds. He's a co-founder of a video game studio called Night Street Games. And they have worked together, Dan Reynolds and his brother Mac Reynolds, to create a game called Last Flag. It is a capture the flag PvP game. And they said they created it because they loved playing real life capture the flag as kids. So by the time this episode comes out, I think the demo will be gone. but you can go watch some gameplay of it online. Yeah, interesting stuff. I mean, it looks fine, but I don't need more live service games in my life. I have enough. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about, this one. Okay, guys, I'm a level with you. I wanted to yap about something, but then we all haven't been here at the same time for weeks.
Yay.
Now that we're all here, with your permission, I would like to yap about it a little bit, but I might veer off topic or rant or go on for long enough. So do I have your permission to yap, Maxwell?
Yeah, go for it. Oh.
Nigga, I need to know what. I'm not just gonna say yes blindly.
Tommy said yes, because he's my real nigga. But anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm logical.
I want to yap about High God.
Okay.
Do I have your permission? Yes or no, Maxwell?
I guess.
Okay. So, how much time do I get?
Well, I edit, so it's fine.
No, but Maxwell has to go sleep and stuff.
So do I.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll be... Okay, so, High God. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to be as quick as possible. For those of you... High God. For those of you who don't know what High God is, it was announced at the Game Awards. It was Jeff Keighley's one last thing announcement. He's been championing this game since its announcement. He's been pushing for it, pushing it, on Twitter before its release. There was actually a joke because after the Game Awards trailer, which was negatively received across the board because people were like, oh yeah, another live service game. And the trailer didn't really give away... It showed gameplay, but we didn't know what the hell kind of game it was. So people just downvoted because it looks like another generic live service game. The main character looks as generic as hell, blah, 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 blah. So the developers, Wildlight Entertainment, after the trailer went live at the Game Awards early December, they went quiet until 3 days before the game was supposed to launch in January 26th, I think. So they announced the release date January 26th at the Game Awards, but they went quiet up until 3 days ago. So people were joking that Jeff Keighley was doing their marketing for them because he was tweeting about the game between then and the release date. So they decided, okay guys, you guys don't know what the game is, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to release a gaming showcasing the game the minute the game goes live on Steam. So it means when people are already playing this game, they're going to now show off what the game is, which is redundant because then people will be playing the game and find out what the game is for themselves. Anyway, so that aside, we all finally got to put our hands on it. It reached ridiculous numbers on Steam charts. Let me see what it was whilst I type. But anyway, your boy jumped into the game High God because I was interested. I was like, it's a live service game. Who knows? Maybe it'll slap. So its peak hit was 97,249, which is a lot. Now, High God, after playing it, this game it's not a bad game. It's not. So people who are saying it's a bad game just don't like live service games. But it's not super great. It's literally mid. It's 5 out of... No, let me not rate games. But it is mid. And people... What am I trying to say? I should have gathered my thoughts better. But anyway. The way this game was managed and everything was really bad. So the game comes out, does numbers, but obviously the numbers just crater because people are like, oh, so this is the game. Okay, cool. People played it for morbid curiosity. Right now, it's currently sitting at 467 players who are playing as of the recording of this episode, which is not a lot. It's a shame because this is a studio, was a new studio, but in the trailer they were like, from the developers who brought you Apex Legends and Titanfall, and we're like, what? These guys are gonna come and drop out some crazy stuff, and then they showed us that, and we're all like, that's not what we were expecting from Titanfall and Apex developers. But that being said, one thing led to another. The reception of the game, they added some changes, added a new game mode, added some other features, but they laid some people off. So this game they laid quite a number of people off, and we don't know what the future of the game is, because at the showcase they showed off this huge ambitious roadmap. We don't know if that roadmap is still a thing, because they laid off a lot of people. They said they're keeping a core group of people to maintain the game or keep the game going. So we don't know if the game is going to be put on maintenance mode. We don't know if the game is still going to exist.
What happened to Halo Infinite?
That is true. But see, the thing with Halo Infinite is that they had Microsoft backing them, so they could disappear. And Halo Infinite was better received at launch than High Guard. But you are right, it is reminiscent of Halo Infinite now that I think about it. But anyway, I don't want to. I could go into what this game is about. I could go into my experience with it, but I don't want to drag this out. I just wanted to yap about live service games, man. And I've spoken with Maxwell about this. I'm like, dude, if I was to create a new studio, y'all better know I am not making a live service game. I'm making a small indie game like Ori or Hollow Knight or something small like Animal Well from Donkey's Big Mood, something like that. I am not creating a live service game. That is his death.
I want to make Elden Ring.
Please.
Speaking
of Elden Ring,
I feel like live service games are for the developers who actually have some experience with other things, in the sense of, obviously with the High Guard thing is from the people who made Titanfall, whatever. But I feel like it's for, what's the word I'm looking for? Like established studios who've been around for a while, and then they can say, we've been making games for a bit now. We've been around for a while now. Let's introduce something live service. Because when I look at the live service people, most of the people who are doing fine for themselves aren't, hey, this is our first crack at live service, or this is going to be our first game and we're going at live service. It's more like we've been making games and now we are switching to live service. It feels like you need to have a core group of people who've been working together and they already have the foundations, and like, okay, now we're just pivoting to something else.
Yeah, 100%. And to bolster that point, so apparently Jeff, going back to Jeff, yes, I almost forgot. So Jeff, so people were like, one of the main reasons that this game was downvoted to hell, the original trailer, is because this was Jeff Keighley's one last thing announcement. Maxwell, you did the right thing and you bailed way before then. Tommy and I had to sit through the rest of that with the Muppets and stuff. But we got to Tommy and I were waiting for that one last thing announcement. I bet Tommy doesn't even remember what High God looks like. Because
no, I do, because I was just like, oh shit, like World of Warcraft vibes.
Oh yes, I remember you said that. You did say that, like a first person type of, yeah. So Jeff Keighley apparently played this game at a play test.
If I had been there, I probably would have been pissed.
Yeah, you would have been really upset. Because I was like, wow. But hey, I had other games during the showcase that I was happy about. So I was like, you know what? Fine. But anyway, so Jeff Keighley, he played the game at a playtest, and apparently it was his idea to put the game at the Game Awards, but I think they said they didn't know where it was going to be placed. But he went up to them and was like, hey, I really like your game, I want to do something. And apparently they wanted to like soft launch it or shadow drop it like Apex was shadow dropped. And your boy said something, Maxwell, your boy Luke Stevens said something. It's like, if High God was shadow dropped, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it now. It would have been it would have failed a long time ago, because it's like, how can a new studio shadow drop something? It doesn't make sense. Whereas with like how Apex was shadow dropped, it made sense because it's Respawn. They already had a following. I mean, they are owned by EA. Everybody knows Respawn, so they can shadow drop something basic. Okay. Let's debate. Hit me.
I just think we've reached a point nowadays where word of mouth is the strongest thing, where you'll see people put up clips of games and other people be like, yo, what the heck is that? That looks interesting. And other people be like, yo, it's this game, check it out. Like that whole demo of that, what is it called? Bungling Gnomes, for example. Like
Burgling.
I saw no promotion of that. Burgling, yeah. No promotion of that. I'm just seeing people putting clips of that playthrough, and then other people are getting excited saying, oh, we need to try that out. So I think shadow dropping is more, I think shadow dropping doesn't matter how big or how small you are. Shadow dropping is more reliant on how soon do you need to make your money back. If we need to make a return is not a big thing, then regardless of your size, you can shadow drop. But if it's like, yo, a lot of money has been invested in this, we need to see a return, don't shadow drop. Because there are often a lot of games where nobody knows anything about the game or about the studio, and then it becomes a big thing. Like when Among Us came out, I'm pretty sure there wasn't a whole big marketing to Among Us. When like there are things which go viral where they had very little marketing to them, and then they went viral because people played the game, people loved the game, people started sharing the game. Like the biggest thing that works for any product is word of mouth, and you can't control word of mouth. Word of mouth will always be whether the product is good or not, then people will talk about it. Of course, you can control word of mouth in the sense of maybe there's so much marketing, there's hype and focus on it, but then the problem with hype and focus is if it doesn't deliver, the word of mouth is going to be negative, i.e. Cyberpunk, for example, just bringing one thing out of my head. So I think anything can shadow drop. It doesn't really matter how big you are or how small you are. If I look at other industries, when you've got, like if I look at music, that's a big area. We always have big artists shadow dropping. But you'll think the stature of big artists, they need to shadow drop because they need people to listen to their music and for it to sell, for the album to do well. If I compare it on the other hand of small artists who nobody knows and then slowly people start to know them, was there big marketing to those small artists' names? So I don't think shadow dropping really impacts anything. If anything, in this instance, shadow dropping could have been a good thing because it just lives or dies on its quality. If it's a shit thing, nobody will talk about it and it will go into the vestige of the shadows. If it's a good thing, people will hype it up and other people be like, whoa, what is this game? Let me go check it out.
No, I hear you. And you're right. Shadow dropping, it does work, but I don't know, man. That thing you said about it doesn't matter how big or small you are, I don't know, man. Because the examples you gave away, Burgling Gnomes, Fall Guys, not Fall Guys. You said Fall Guys or Among Us? Among Us. You said Among Us. Among Us.
But Fall Guys is also another good example.
Yeah, but those are small studios. Like, I want you to give me an example of a brand new studio who tried to release a AAA live service game. Shadow dropped it and it did well.
Hey, bro, I don't know anyone who would try to shadow drop a live service, because the problem there is live service.
Exactly, that's my point. That's what I was making. But that a brand new studio can't just shadow drop a live service game.
No, but at the same time, though, we don't have any, like you like to go to. We don't have any what's the word?
Case studies. Do you know why?
Yes,
because people don't quit. That's why.
Yeah, so
Because people know
this
better.
could be the first, and then it could send a new trend. Like, we talk about knowing better, but in reality, we don't know shit. One person comes in, does something, other people are like, holy shit, that worked. Quick, let's copy this while the trend is hot. When Fortnite did their shit, nobody thought that was going to work. Remember the jokes during the Avengers thing of when Avengers came out, Endgame came out, and they're like, oh, it's based in 2025, and then people are making a joke of the only unrealistic thing about this being based in 2025 is people are still playing Fortnite.
You know, people
Like,
were
shut the
idiots for
fuck
saying
up.
that. People were idiots
Yeah,
for saying that.
it's people think that's smart, but in reality, we don't know what's going to work. We don't know what will work. Sometimes everything is lined up for something to be big and it just doesn't work out. Other times things are like, this should fail, but for reasons beyond us, it works out. And then other time it's just a thing about timing of this just came out at the right time. Like, look at the fucking PlayStation 4 coming out and then doing as well as it did compared to the Xbox One, where it's just like Microsoft fucked themselves over. Sony didn't need to do much for it. And then also Sony just luckily presenting right after Microsoft as well just worked out for Sony. So it's just like, sometimes it's a timing thing. A lot of the times we try to control the element to be able to do the most successful launch we can do, which is the natural thing to go for. But then there's also just dumb luck timing of, hey, I launched a product and it just so happened to come out during COVID. Fuck, that was the worst time for it to come out. Or shit, that was amazing dumb luck. So you can't control everything. Some things will be good, some things will be bad. I think a shadow launch would have been interesting. It could have been a future case study of things you should do or you shouldn't do. I think we are unlucky to not have experienced that. And yeah, Keely was dumb for what he did.
Yeah, no.
But
Everybody's saying
I
Keely
also
fucked
feel
him
like
over.
I feel he had a strong impact on fucking them over. But
Yep.
I also just feel like people need to calm down on how big Keely is. Keely is not a big force. He just has a lot of influence simply because of his position, not because he's an influential guy. Like, you get certain individuals, you know, when they talk, when they do things, people listen or people follow. Keely is not that guy. Keely is not when he talks, let's listen. A lot of people don't want to listen to Keely. He just happens to be in a very powerful position. So whether we want to or not, we have to listen. But he's not influential. And I feel like Keely doesn't realize that about himself. He operates as if he's influential, always hosting his damn own events, talking about how he's excited for certain things, going to companies saying, hey, bring this to my thing. Like, sometimes you have to realize, you know, I'm not the show. I just happen to be in a very privileged position to be able to do certain things. If somebody else also had the same privilege as me, they probably could be doing better than me.
That is true. That is actually a good point of view. I'd never thought about it, about that angle that you came with, about people don't really listen to Keely because he's not the type of he's not that guy, you know. But yeah, no, he really, excuse my French, but everybody is saying it, he fucked them over. He really did. He did them no favors. It's a shame. And even he came out and he was like, after the layoffs, he was like, you know, this is a sad situation, given I went to the studio and I played the play test and I really enjoyed the game. And people in the comments are like, this was all your fault. So, yeah. And the thing about how, you see, here's the thing. Yeah, next one.
I was just going to say, if I was in Jeff Keely's position, I would be centering myself as being a background player. Like, you know how you get those people in industries who have a lot of sway and influence, but you have no idea who they are because they're in the background. Keely could position himself like that, of nobody really knows him, but he has his fingers in a lot of things. But instead, he wants to be in front of a cameras in the limelight, which is just stupid. But hey, that's his decision, his stupid decision to make.
Yeah. That is we've spoken at length about Kelly, you, me, Tammy. Tammy, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, bro.
Oh, yeah. Sorry for boring you to death.
No, it's okay.
Just one last thing about High God. So, Maxwell and Tammy, you can, people are saying if you're going to release a live service game in this day and age, it has to do something different that no other live service game has done. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Disagree.
Okay, Tommy.
I'm pondering.
Okay, ponder. While you're pondering, Maxwell, get your argument ready.
Okay, say it again. Let me just understand.
So people nowadays say that in this oversaturated market of live service games, especially hero shooter games, if you're going to release a new one, it has to but it has to kind of sort of reinvent the wheel, like do something unique that no other live service game has really done, like bring something new to the table.
Agreed.
Okay, so you agree with that. Maxwell disagrees. Maxwell, real quick, why do you disagree? 30 seconds.
Because there's been so many things which are bringing something dramatically new, and then they just fail flat on their ass because people are like, what the fuck is this? Bring something people are already comfortable with and just tweak it because it's familiar, but then you have your unique element is the tweaked area, which is what is the novelty. Yes, so bring something familiar with a sense of novelty to it and you'll do fine. That's how I see it. Because as much as people are crying for something different, they actually just want something familiar with a twist. And the fact that you call it a hero shooter, and then we also have looter shooters, means it's the same fucking thing. You're just doing the same fucking thing, but with a different cover to it. So that's not new, that's not different, that's not unique. Arc Raiders, Overwatch, Valorant, all of these other live services, they're the same fucking thing, but you're doing something slightly different. Helldivers.
Helldivers doesn't count because it's not PvP. I don't count Helldivers.
I look at it as long as you're supporting it and you're still supporting it, and people say, oh, there's nothing new going on, or there's something new going on, I look at it as live service. Okay, then if it's not Helldivers, then the Bungie game, whatever the fuck you call that thing.
Destiny, yes, 100%. That is a live service game.
So,
okay,
for me, people want the familiar with a tweak.
That is a good argument. Somebody, do you want to support your position or not?
Let's see. Hearing Max's, I guess his makes sense. But for me, the reason why I said I agree is because, I mean, it's like the same with the music industry. Everything is sampled, but it still feels new. It still feels like it's different, unless you get those ones that really just copy something and change the tone of the song, but not exactly the song fully. Whereas samples, I mean, you chop and change, you chop and screw the song up. So yes, I do believe that some games, in order to stay ahead of the curve, have to bring some new elements completely. Like, not to say fully reinvent the wheel, but give the reel some spinning rims, instead of your custom. Yeah,
I like that analogy. Nice.
Screw.
Nice. So to that extent, I say this because High God, I think, tried too hard to be different. So before the game came out, they posted on their TikTok or Instagram, they posted a sizzle reel because they had an influencer / journalist event, and one of them was he said something along the lines of, High God is a mixture of all these different games, yet it is none of those things. And I'm like, you said a whole bunch of nothing there. That means nothing. And then I played the game, and I'm like, yeah, I apologize. He kind of has a point. I see where he's coming from. Because High God takes all of these things from different games and puts it together in such a way that it is none of those games. Does that make sense? Maxwell, am I making sense?
Not really, but I would imagine if I played the game, I would probably be like, oh, okay.
Yes. So they call High God Wildlight calls High God a PvP raid shooter. So, this game is a mixture. I'm gonna forget some, but it's a mixture of games like Overwatch, CS, Rainbow Six, League of Legends, Fortnite. What else am I missing? Apex. I already said Siege and CS.
See, to me, like the problem of trying to please everyone and pleasing no one.
That's the thing. And the thing is, because I didn't know how this game was going to work. Like the way a game of, I don't want to, because I've already spoken over time. So maybe next time you guys will ask me, how does a game of High God work? I'll explain it. But basically, how a game of High God works is so convoluted. It's just dumb. It's so convoluted. It's ridiculous. But anyway. Yeah, so they said also a PvP raid shooter. So we're like, oh, I've never heard of a PvP raid shooter. So I played, I'm like, look, it tries to do new things-ish, but it's just not what people wanted. So anyway, that's my yapping on High God. Sorry for hijacking this episode, Tammy. I'm sorry. Maxwell,
okay.
I apologize. I'm going to warn you though, next week, I have another game to yap about, but next week I'll probably have my thoughts more concise. And Tammy, I think you'd like that discussion. Max, I think I'm going to bore you to death. Sorry, I'm warning you in advance.
I'm ready.
Okay, all right, so that's it for my gaming corner. Usually I don't have gaming corner stuff other than just the releases of the week, so here's a whole bunch of nothing. What about you guys?
I don't have any other releases that came out. Well, hold on. I've got a Pokemon trading card release to announce. So as of yesterday, which is the 20... okay, obviously now time has elapsed into the 27th of February, but 25th of February, on the Pokemon trading card game Pocket, so obviously the mobile game where you just collect cards, I oath I'm going to get into this shit for real, bro. So the Paldean Wonders pack has been released. So y'all can go check that out. Okay, if I can like stop leveling up. Okay, so just some big names of cards that are going to be shown here. We've got Goldengo X. Some of these Pokemon I just don't know, nigga. Bruh, Xingpao X. Sorry if that's racist. Dog, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this pack, my guys. Listen, that's not speaking to me. Like this pack, it just looks like, what's that game? Pal World. Like these Pokemon literally look like Pal World shits. But anyways, y'all can cop that. I'm gonna actually open my first pack now. But yeah, Max, you got anything that you know that came out?
Yeah, so they announced last week the person who's going to be the voice actor for Amy Rose in the Sonic movie.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah? Word? Who?
Kristen Bell.
Yeah!
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have.
Okay, I'll wait. Alright, so I'm going to be hearing a lot of Anna from Frozen, quite a lot, but yeah, that'll be fun. Alright, then that brings us to the halfway section. Listen, y'all, if you're enjoying the show, please do leave a like and subscribe. Big things are coming, you know what I'm saying? Something to keep y'all nice and concise, but as we keep going, we keep it groovy like a driving movie. Moving on to the content creator news. Okay, y'all, so I think at some point in one of the episodes I prophesized that it could be the end of Kaisanat's streaming career. But Max and Kojo were just like, yeah, nah, it's not the end, you know, he's gonna need money, pay the bills and all that. So they were right. After the hiatus that he has been on, he ended up just appearing on Phantom's stream, right? So Phantom, part of the AMP members and whatnot, was having a stream, and all of a sudden in the Twitch chats, Kaisanat was there saying, hey man, set up a night and we can play games together. Matter of fact, hop on Fall Guys right now. So then they played, which is, pretty nice for them. And yeah, Kai then pretty much sprinkled in with regards to that he's not finished with streaming. He's got a stream that he wants to come back with, where he's going to address all the things he's done and been through and his mental mind. So yeah, he didn't give a certain day where that's going to happen, so y'all just keep tuned in, I guess. And yeah, okay, next one. Influencers, right, are taking pretty much their own control, and they're putting their foot down with AI deepfakes, because now they have a content creator protection agency. Yes, that is right. It's called Fanlock. So influencers who are tired of their content being stolen and used by AI, shaped into something that clearly isn't for them, can now get protection from that. So Twitch streamer Morgpie, which
her.
Yeah, if you know, it's crazy that she's the one,
bro,
pretty much coming forward with, bro. And then so Xander Small and her are pretty much combined together, and 2 million other people across different platforms to basically come together and complaining about their content being stolen, sometimes even deep faked and reposted on piracy websites, Telegram channels, forums, wada. If y'all have been on X and you've seen the whole Sadie Sink thing that's happening, it's like this basically. It's gotten out of hand like hectically, bro. Especially like with Sweet Anita as well. She's one of the people facing hectic AI deepfakes and all these things and whatnot. So yeah, they've been complaining that thieves and all these people doing this stuff with their content or ignoring DMCA notices. Do you know how easy it is to get around a DMCA notice? It's so, dude, is this thing even like strong? Does it even help people? But anyways, and yeah, they're just reposting streams. Like, it gets that bad where they will literally AI deepfake you as if you're actually live streaming. So you put on your own gameplay, you're playing, but instead of your face on the camera, it's another famous streamer, on a completely different channel. And sometimes you can even like label it as like every streamer has their streaming channel. Then they also have a channel with like, it's just clips or highlights from the stream. So most people are starting to do that now, where if a big streamer doesn't have a channel like that, they're using AI to create channels like that, and it's working hard, bro. Shit. So anyways, yeah, the protection agency Fanlock has pretty much now come to fruition. So it's a content creator focused service that finds influencers stolen content and gets it taken down. AI obviously using facial recognition, all this and that, to see where it's used on unauthorized sites, channels, and other domains. So unlike any other agencies of its kind, Fanlock doesn't stop at just issuing the DMCA notice. It makes things so expensive for you if you're stealing that you're essentially forced to comply or risk paying through through like your ass in fines. So yeah, big ups to Morgpie and Xander for that, because they have helped remove 250,000 AI deepfakes just alone from Google searches. Yeah, so good on them. Right, yeah, I've also got a long list, so like bear with y'all, it's been a lot. Twitch has now announced major changes to bans with 2 new suspension types. I'm pretty sure Kojo's going to touch on a certain... not touch on him. Ew, gross. But I'm sure Kojo's going to bring up a certain streamer whose unbanning has just brought so much disappointment. But it's Twitch. Why are we surprised? So yeah, they've announced their major updates to its suspension, which has also pretty much brought about the unbanning of, what's her name again? Nina Lim, yeah. Yeah. So, her unbanning and other people's unbanning pretty much came from this new change that they've brought up, where it's just going to change how temporary bans will work across the entire platform. So there's new streaming and chatting suspensions also that have been introduced. So yeah, new, well, not, is she new? Christine Weber, Twitch's CTO. I don't know if she's new or, yeah. But anyways, if a user violates policies while they're live, they will receive a streaming suspension. So this is what she mentioned. She also mentions that the new changes will then block their ability to go live and temporarily disable chat on their channel. However, they can still watch other streams while logged in, chats and other channels, and access accounts like their dashboard. Now, beforehand, what you could not do if you were banned was, well, you could still watch other people's streams, but you could not chat in their streams, in their channels. And yeah, so anyways, so that's pretty much happened with the unbanning. But okay, Coach, I'll swing back to you, dog. Let me just get two more out the woods. Next up, we've got Doja Cat, who has now returned to Twitch after her hiatus as well, but that's because she was pretty much working on new music, as well as appearing as a voiceover in certain movies. She's now come back to Twitch streaming, but of course, while trying to set everything up, rookie mistake. Whenever you're setting up your stream after a long ass time, do so offline. Don't go live. You know, something she easily could have just remembered to do and think better. But but in doing so, she was trying to log in, and then she leaked her email because obviously she typed it out fully whilst on stream, sharing her screen. And then she had like a shit ton of Nicki fans coming to attack her, in case you guys don't know the beef between Nicki and Doja. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it could have been worse.
Nicki fans still exist?
Yeah, dog.
Yes.
Dog, so long as the queen breathes, man. So your name B.O.B, but they're calling you Bob. And then lastly, as I mentioned before with Sweet Anita, she's also, I wouldn't say she's causing controversy, but yeah, you guys can tell me what you think at the end of this. But anyway, so Twitch streamer Sweet Anita. So I'm not sure if any of you guys watched the BAFTAs recently, but
oh no.
You know the story, I'm guessing. Yeah, so at the BAFTAs now, okay, so quick one. Tourette's activist John Davidson had a Tourette's tick while he was in the audience at the BAFTAs. And obviously at the BAFTAs there's cameras that have like attached mics, boom mics and all that, you know, floating about and whatnot. I guess to capture the applause, because why else would they need them? But anyways, so one of the mics then picked up one of his ticks where, as Michael B. Jordan and what's this dude's name again? I forget his name. Hold on. Let me. Does it matter to say his name? Okay. Anyways, I'll find his name later, but y'all can just obviously Google this and check it out, right? So when they're on stage, reading out an award, and everyone's like applauding and whatnot, he being John Davidson, begins to have his tick and shouts racial slurs. Now, mind you, the BAFTAs isn't actually technically live, but it is aired, right, after a certain time delay. Now, one, the BBC could have edited it out, to be honest. Especially you can see just like the uncomfortability, the discomfort, Jesus. You can see the discomfort of Michael B. Jordan.
I would jump there and say it wasn't the BBC, it was the BAFTA themselves. Because
you reckon?
The thing is pre-recorded, and WB, I think, owns the BAFTAs, and apparently they told them like, hey, cut this stuff out, and they didn't listen and they went ahead with it.
Yes. Thank you. So yeah, the other guy, by the way, is
part of a controversy is that there was a Free Palestine moment that they cut out.
Yeah. I was going to mention that if you didn't mention it.
Yeah, they were able to do that, but they couldn't do. Yeah, but anyways,
well, they could if they didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't say couldn't. No, I get you. Yeah. So the other guy is Dalroy Lindo, if you guys know who he is. So if you've watched Sinners, you know who these two people are, 100%. So yeah, so now the reason why Sweet Anita's involved in this, because obviously she herself has Tourette's. So she tweeted, as someone with Tourette's who's mixed race, who got cancelled by millions of people for the tics that she has, to the point of mass death threats, who has also presented awards and has a lot to say about this stuff. So she pretty much was trying to obviously defend another person with Tourette, saying, using I don't want to say excuse, because I understand what she's saying, but like, everyone knows what the N-word is, and obviously with a tic, even how people of color can appear in your life, obviously your mind with Tourette's is gonna think of a whole lot of things to just suddenly say or identify as. So yeah, she's obviously trying to defend the whole situation, and then people are fighting, also saying that like, nah, if it's in your vocabulary, a lot and that and all that, then that's why you would just say it so easily, comes to the tip of your tongue. But yeah, so I don't know where y'all are on the side of this. Do you think Sweet Anita is right in defending Davidson, or do you fight with the people in the sense that, like, because the word is probably in his vocabulary, the tics have manifested into him just saying racial slurs? Because some people are also fighting to say that, well, there's a whole misunderstanding that some people mention with tics, in that some are involuntary, some are actually manifested. But yeah, I mean, y'all can do your own research on that, and that is where I finish with my content creator news. Yes, Kojo.
Funny enough, Tommy. Well, not funny enough, but though I was going to bring up the Lacari situation, but you weren't there for that episode, so I didn't bring it up.
I mean, was I not there, or
No,
was
you
I?
weren't.
Okay, no, it's because I edited it. That's why I think I was okay.
Because I was with Maxwell, I was like, I want to bring it up, but I don't want to do it without Tommy being here. So,
fair enough.
For those of you who don't know who Lacari is, he is a Twitch streamer. They say he's OTK affiliated, but I mean, he has a lot of friends, or let me say had. I don't know, but he was pretty, like, he wasn't a huge streamer, but he was pretty well known. He was well known to a lot of people. Lacari. Unfortunately, I don't know if this is relevant or not, but I'm gonna say it. Dude is black. I don't know if it's relevant or not. I'm just gonna put that out there.
No, anyway. But it kind of is. I'm sorry. Why is it gotta be us, though?
Anyway, Maxwell, do you know the story? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
You're joking.
Buckle up, Maxwell, because this is a wild one. So, there is a streamer called Lacari that I just mentioned. On one stream, tell me, you can fill in the blanks if I get things wrong.
Sure.
On one stream, he pulled open a Microsoft Notepad file. And there was a remember session feature, which when you pull up, because I thought Microsoft Notepad, once you close it, it deletes everything. But no, it actually remembers things.
Yep.
So I was shocked to find that out.
Lacari,
I guess,
since when?
Since always. Because like one time I closed the tab, right? When I opened it back up, or I closed the whole window. When I opened it back up, the notes was there. Yes,
Notepad and Notepad++. You have to enable it.
Notepad++, I understand, and that's one of the reasons I like ++. But Notepad, since when? Because every time I always lose stuff on Notepad because I didn't save it.
It's a setting that you have to add.
Is it? Because mine is...
it's going to eat your RAM if you like...
I still have notes from last year that I haven't gotten rid of.
Yeah, it's a setting that you can have on.
Never knew that.
Go check it out. So anyway, I guess Lacari didn't know that. So he pulled up a notepad page, whatever you want to call it, which displayed a bunch of links. And the links linked to some questionable material because people follow those links and they found that it included folders. Are you ready for this, Maxwell? It included folders labeled things like couples, teens, and 500 plus JBT. And then JBT apparently is short for jailbait. So,
Wait,
people obviously view
why
this
does it
as
sound?
what as what?
Didn't you speak about this last time?
No, I said I was going to, but I didn't do it because Sammy wasn't here.
Then we chatted about it on the WhatsApp group.
I know there was the window where you said there's something you want to talk about, but Tammy's not here, so you won't talk about it. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also remember another conversation where you were talking about jailbait stuff, where somebody had a folder called jailbait or things like that. This sounds
Couldn't have
familiar.
been me.
We
Maybe
also
it was on
spoke
the-
about it in length on
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
maybe it was on the WhatsApp.
No, it was on
'Cause
a
it wasn't
conversation
me.
because I remember, but I remember you describing that stuff called jailbait, and either you asked, do you have an idea of what jailbait is? I was like, I can guess that it's probably child stuff.
I don't think it was in relation to this. I think this was a long time ago.
Maybe it was in relation to another thing, but this
It's probably in
just
relation
sounds
to. No, it's coming back to me. It wasn't in relation to this. It wasn't in relation. to
okay.
This.
So there was
something else.
another thing about jailbait stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is feeling like deja vu.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. It's coming back to me. I can't remember what it was, but anyway. So yeah, photos labeled couples, teens, and 500 plus JBT, jailbait. So viewers obviously saw this as CSAM, child sexual abuse material. Sorry, YouTube. And people are like, oh, he's obviously consuming this stuff. So he tried to play it off, but he then tried to justify it on stream, but then he deleted the social media post and took a hiatus. The consequences resulted in him getting a ban from Twitch and a perma ban from Kick. Then he came out with a statement saying things like he does have a porn addiction, but he doesn't engage in any CSAM material, and that he was entering a 30-day recovery program, which was going to include professional therapy.
After looking at 500 JBT.
Allegedly.
Oh.
I have to say that. Allegedly. So obviously people have been debating this back and forth, blah, blah, blah. And recently he was unbanned. I didn't think it was, well, it's kind of funny because he's been unbanned on Twitch. However, Kick, which is known as the Wild West of streaming, people getting shot at and sexual intercourse and all of that on Kick, he's been perma-banned on Kick but unbanned on Twitch. That is wild.
It says a lot.
Dude, that is crazy. But anyway, yeah, that's the Lacari situation in a nutshell. Next up, I want to oh my god. It just hit me the irony of the person I'm about to talk about next. So, moving on to Dr. Disrespect.
Oh wow.
It clicked to me. Okay. Anyway, so
Speaking
moving on
of
to
jailbait,
exactly right. I should have said it, but yeah. Speaking of jailbait, thank you for that segue, Maxwell. The two-time Dr. Disrespect. I saw this low-key in real time on Twitter. I need to get off Twitter. So he tweeted something like, I'm looking at it right now. So he tweeted a Photoshop, file being edited of him as sort of like a Marathon character. For those of you who don't know Marathon, it's an upcoming game being released on March 5th by Bungie. It's an extraction shooter. It has a very distinct art style, so people could pick it up. And he was like, and I quote, this on Twitter, he said, and I quote, just finished our photo shoot for tomorrow and the team sent me a sneak peek. Tomorrow is going to be cinema, caps, drops on, caps, hashtag marathon partner, end quote. And Paul Tassi, you know Paul Tassi, right, Maxwell? The Forbes guy.
Sounds familiar, but I'm... Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, he's a Forbes journalist, to my knowledge. He quote tweeted that and said, and I quote, is this a real Bungie partnership or is he making it up again? End quote. And then the Marathon development team replied to that and replied to Paul Tassi and said, and I quote, he's not partnered, end quote. Now, this is not the first time he's done this because he did that for another game in January. You want to guess what game that is?
January.
High God.
Oh, right.
He did that for High God. He posted a lanyard next to a controller at an event saying, on a table, saying, I was invited to, where is it? Saying, he took the Lambo to check out High God at LA, and then he's going to play more of it the next day, blah, 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 blah. And then they came out and said, the creator manager for High God, and they came out and said, look, he has not been invited to any High God events, past or present, and the badge you see is not an official badge. So I don't know why the doc is doing this. First with High God and then with Marathon, I don't know what he aims to. People are very baffled by what he's doing. Like, why are you lying? And are you trying to get back into people's not imagination, get back into people's, what's the word I'm looking for?
Good graces?
Yeah, let's say good graces. Good graces, people's thoughts, people's, everyday, that type of thing. Like, do you want people to remember you again? That type of thing. Or, you're trying to, sweep away your actions by saying, oh, you're getting invited to these events. Who knows with the doc. But yeah, anyway, Marathon came out and they shut that down immediately and said, nope, he is not partnered. Who knows? Maybe in the future he might get a partnership for another game, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, that is it for my content creator news.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Max, you got any content creator news?
Nah, not really.
Alright. Well, I don't have any esports. So yeah, Kojo, you got esports?
I got 2.
Is one of them Apex?
No.
Oh, okay.
Apex is they're chilling now. They're waiting for the start of the next split.
Oh, okay. I saw Imperial Hell playing some kind of what looks like a tournament, but I guess it's probably just a tournament, not a esports thing.
No, he's scrimming. He's playing.
Okay.
They're scrimming right now, so I guess they're preparing for the split one regular season to start.
Okay.
So, first news, shifting to our attention to the FGC, or the fighting game community. Street Fighter player Punk, who is one of the biggest Street Fighter players out there, or one of the biggest FGC players out there right now. He won EVO in 2024 for Street Fighter 6. He's also done very well for himself. He was going to be in Capcom Cup 12, which is going to take place in, I forgot when. It was going to take place on March 14th. I forgot where. Japan, maybe? I can't remember. But he couldn't make it. He came out on Twitter and he said, and I quote, "Sad to say I won't be able to compete at Capcom Cup this year. Had some passport issues and was not able to get a new one fast enough to attend. Sorry to everyone I let down. We will be back next year aiming even harder for the win," end quote. So it's sad. But this means that his position went to the next person who just missed out on Capcom Cup 12. Tokido. For those of you who don't know Tokido, he is a legend in the Street Fighter. He's Japanese. He's a legend in the Street Fighter FGC community as a whole. So he came out and he said, due to Punk, not being able to attend, I'm now in that spot and I'm going to give it my all. So people are upset that Punk couldn't make it, but people also hyped to see Tokido play. So yeah, it's sad. I would have liked to see Punk go, but because I said this before, but I'm deep within the FGC now, guys. I'm watching fighting game stuff because it's intriguing to me, even though I can't play a fighting game to save my life. Anyway, so that's
the joystick, bro.
So that is my FGC stuff. Next, it's actually also FGC stuff. So recently, at a Smash tournament, I think it was Smash Melee, but who cares? It was a Smash tournament. One of the contestants who was dressed as Mario was raging. He spiked his controller on the ground. I think he lost. So he spiked his controller on the ground. A TO, which I'm assuming stands for tournament official, one of the TOs came up to him and said, "Hey, you need to stop that." And guess what he did? The Mario guy. Guess what he did?
Punch
Maxwell, what
the
do you think he
TO. Oh, my bad. Shit.
Okay, tell me, what do you think he did?
Punch the TO.
Okay, Maxwell, what do you think he did?
I want to say spat on the person,
Okay.
but who spits on people nowadays?
You'd be surprised. So this one goes to Tommy.
Oh, goddamn.
He
Okay.
socked the TO
Damn.
right in the face. Well, I don't know if it was in the face, but I'm assuming it was in the face. Fortunately, there was no video of. No, I'm not saying unfortunately. That sounds so bad. That's so bad. Anyway,
Yeah, I want to see it.
Same. What, Maxwell?
Fatality.
Oh, good one. So, that's another thing I wanted to mention. The Mortal Kombat movie trailer is out for the Mortal Kombat 2. Go watch it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so.
Yeah, I'll agree. The trailer looks pretty good.
Right.
And everyone is happy they're moving away from that cash dude.
Cole Young.
That's the one. Cool. Yeah, like, yeah, I won't get into it.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the actor, Louis Tan. I like him, but I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, but who the fuck was that character? Like,
Nobody.
it just felt so latched on.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. But we got Johnny Cage back, baby. Anyway, so
I just want to make a random comment about that. Like, when did the community randomly just decide that, you know what, Johnny Cage is main character material? Like, when did that happen? Because somebody in the comments pointed out, like, I'm glad we have Johnny Cage, and I'm glad he's now being taken seriously. Back in my days, it was Louis Kang and Raiden who were the main people. Johnny Cage was just a Van Damme ripoff. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. When did Johnny Cage become a serious character, like become a main character?
I think he became serious when the story became serious. So you know how he went from arrogant, fake actor to fighting for Elfrealm, being in the military with Sonya to an extent, you know, helping train soldiers in MK11. I'm not sure if you remember, but he was there. He was literally in the military, like coordinating attacks and shit alongside Sonya and stuff. So I think the progression of his character arc.
It's crazy now, where when you watch a Mortal Kombat movie, the main character or the hero is either going to be Louis Kang or Johnny Cage.
I think it was a natural thing.
Yeah.
Not natural, but I think it was good to go to Johnny. I think it only made sense. So it looks like he's going to be the focal point, because even in the poster, he's the biggest person on that poster. So looks like it's going to be from his point of view. Anyway, not Street Fighter. What was I talking about? Smash. So there was video of him being escorted out of the tournament. And as I said, he was dressed as Mario, and people were laughing at that. And some people were like joking about it and were like, because he smashed her because he lost to King DDD, and apparently people like that character's OP. So someone was like, you know what, valid crash out. People were like, I understood it. You know, people were joking. But other people were like, oh, Smash, say less. All you had to tell me was just it was a Smash tournament. You know, that type of thing. But yeah, that's it for my esports. That is all. This was a long episode. I'm sorry, guys. I yapped a lot.
Nigga, it's fine.
Woo!
It's all good, though. It's all good. All right. Max, I don't suppose you have esports.
I do not.
All right. Anyways, guys, this has been a epic episode. All the tidbits, brought to y'all right here on the show. Thank you so much for listening. That brings us to the end, and yeah, man, hope you all had some fun. Please do leave a like and subscribe as we post every week, and we're gonna check y'all on the groovy side and check y'all in the next episode. So yeah, peace out and keep gaming. Thanks, y'all. Cheers.